Reflective repatterning, or known as RR, is a way of working with opposites. Way too often we've gone in and thought about our issues that we have in our lives, our head trash that's going on, all these excessive thoughts and problems and old things of the past that are going on and round in our mind. And have been looking for effective therapies to lessen the negative emotional charges and thought patterns that we have. RR doesn't only clear the negative side of the issue, but allows you to fully let go with what's underneath the surface. And that is by learning to heal the resistance to loving the problem. The forefathers of psychology, from Sigmund Freud and the counsellors who traditionally worked up to the talking therapies we have today, Carl Rogers and Fitzgerald and so forth, would look at these negatives and would talk your way through to understanding the reasons we're upset. RR does a little bit of the understanding, but really focuses on clearing, so it's no longer an issue. But all of these forefathers worked in the field that the negative side of the issue is just the problem. And even really effective therapy treatments that came along, like neuro-linguistic programming, NLP for short, hypnotherapy, eye movement, desensitization routine where we're processing traumas with our eyes, and thought-field therapy known as TFT, emotional freedom technique known as EFT, and many others that you might have heard of, even cognitive behavioural therapy, all worked in the premise that the negative part of the issue was the only problem. However, anybody who's even had anywhere near what they would call a successful treatment with these therapies, and many of these therapies don't get as far as that, but even what they consider, I can have them close their eyes and imagine saying these words, I love that problem. And often the emotional charge that they are already holding on inside is even far greater than the way they thought negatively about it. Many people would consider to feel negative about a negative issue was obviously a good thing, but they couldn't love it, which meant they couldn't let go, they couldn't forgive. And the resistance to loving a problem, a fear, a phobia, a traumatic event, is far huger in most cases, or in many cases. So we clear that as well. When we use love, most people would say is the most powerful, passionate energy of all. And the opposite for many is hate. And when we use these polarity differences of love and of hate, then once we work with these and balance these, we create a neutrality. If we think of a magnet has a north pole and a south pole. Think of a magnet with a love pole and a hate pole. Two hates repel, two loves will repel. A love will attract a hate will attract a love. So we're using these polarities to get a free flow from hate to love, to hate to love, to love to hate, clearing the energy. This gives a state of neutrality, giving the person who has received the RR or done the RR on themselves at home or wherever, a free state of freedom, choice and flexibility. Freedom to be able to enter the negative world without too much stress, choice and flexibility to go down to the other end, to be able to like or love or forgive a negative issue, as well as to embrace it or to leave it, to stay clear of it. Freedom, choice and flexibility is something that RR gives to everybody.